Hi, we're Group 4 and we will be presenting about Mardi, the well-known organization, especially among the farmers in Malaysia, which is none other than Malaysian Agricultural Research and Development Centre, or known as Mardi, was established as a statutory body following the approval of the Parliament of Malaysia Act 11, which is Mardi Act 1969 in October 1969 under the Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Based Industry, Malaysia. Mardi has been commended to carry on a research in agriculture, food and agro-based businesses. Mardi's central office, which is located in the district of Serdang in Selangor State, they have 8 main research stations and 24 support stations, which cover 7,065 hectares of land area in Malaysia. Mardi formally went into operation in March 1971 with the mandatory work to perform research and development (R&D) on all farming work crops aside from rubber. When the Palm Oil Research Institute of Malaysia, which is known as PORIM, presently known as the Malaysian Palm Oil Board (MPOB), and also the Malaysian Cocoa Board (MCB), were created, all activities connected to oil palm and cocoa were reassigned to the specific bodies. The advancement of research activities during the 70s was fairly sluggish because of restricted staff and expertise. However, the following 20 years, the 80s and 90s saw a more forceful improvement when more workers were trained and their skills upgraded. So the research and development activities were put into actions in accordance with the Malaysia master plans. So the World Bank likewise gave funds and seconded specialists to Mardi. In the former part of its establishment, a few staff were enrolled to Mardi from the Department of Agriculture, which is known as DOA, and Department of Veterinary Services, DVS. Others were sourced from outside, including specialists from abroad. Food Technology Division of the Ministry of Agriculture, which is known as MOA, was taken into Mardi in 1975. The research activities started to develop effectively. Knowledge management, which is known as KM, is involved in the way of developing, sharing, utilizing and managing the information and data of organizations. Mardi mentions KM as a multidisciplinary way to get the organization goals by making the best use of knowledge. All the information, data and knowledge have been reserved in the systematic methods with the intent of making value, meeting strategic necessities, which later can be used to accumulate more insights. KM in Mardi is being implemented in different ways using various strategies and tools. Among the goals is to lead the agriculture technology and food preparing and expanding agricultural efficiency. Cutting-edge technologies in food preparing and post-harvest handling are additionally created for plant and livestock items. Since ICT technologies are being misused, new procedures are being created in environmental administrations and ideal usage of horticultural assets, especially soil, water and genetic resources. Other than performing the agreement research and advancement (R&D) programs, Mardi also offers specialized types of assistance and business development in food, farming and also different fields related with the industry. Farmers and entrepreneurs that had embraced Mardi technologies had contributed to the improvement of the national food, horticulture and also the agro-based industry. This has made the agricultural sector a convincing contributor to the national economy. As an association doing analysis in science and technology as its basis business, Mardi gives a pool of specialists in important fields and contributes significantly to the worldwide knowledge corpus. All data, scientific findings, and agricultural skill obtained from the R&D activities are channeled through publications, displays, symposiums, and also conventional at national and international levels. So, to guarantee Mardi is not behind in food and agriculture technology growth at the global stage, license with the national and global research organizations, colleges, and group networking is upgraded.
Assalamualaikum and hi. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is UMAIRAH binti Muhammad NIZAM. Okay, now we should proceed our discussion by presenting about Mardi's biggest challenge in the current era. Challenge is the situation of being presented with something that requires great mental or physical effort to be achieved effectively and thus test the skills of an individual. Challenges are being faced by our country, Malaysia, and also affect the company in Malaysia, especially during this current era with pandemic COVID-19. As we know, coronavirus disease COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. There are many challenges in this current era, but here are some challenges that we are going to discuss. In order to keep our country safe and sound, to reduce the number of deaths and the number of patients, we all need to stay at home and follow the order from the government. This is one of the biggest challenges that Mardi had to follow, which is working from home. It is hard for Mardi to work from home as it is an agro-tourism company which usually needed to work outdoor. So working from home is hard job to do with this field. So this is the first point, which is working from home. Secondly, Mardi need to postpone Mardi services and day-to-day operation during this pandemic. Mardi is an agro-tourism sector which are located at Maeb Serdang, Cameron Highland, Genting Highland and also Langkawi. These places have attracted the visitors from all over the world for its beauty and its place that full of many family-friendly activities that visitors can do during their visits there, especially during school holidays. But unfortunately, all of these have to be closed during this pandemic. Thirdly, reducing Mardi's employees. This occurs because they need to keep their standard operation procedure SOP, so they need to reduce their employees' number to keep their safety, and also Mardi wanted to save budget for the employee salary. As a matter in fact, in April, a Department of Statistics survey found employment in the agricultural sector recorded the second highest job loss, with 21.9%, after the employment in the services sector with 35.4%. Fourthly, vegetable dumps. At the beginning of the MCO, we can see a report on dumping of vegetables, which are common in Cameron Highland that gave an impact and effect on the food chain activities. This can only happen because during this pandemic, they failed to export vegetables to other countries. Next, turning the Taman Expo Pertanian Malaysia or Maeb Serdang into a quarantine center. Turning the Taman Expo Pertanian Malaysia or Maeb Serdang into a quarantine center for illegal immigrants in such a short notice, which is within only 4 days to get the place ready for the patients, were a challenge for Maebs. It is hard for Maebs to obtain of such resources and supply materials from suppliers because many parties are bound by the Movement Control or the MCO. Lastly, food waste. During this COVID-19 pandemic, this action will only get worse. There are nations that have died from hunger, but we continue to waste our food, which is a bad habit, but we need to cut it off. In Malaysia, food that goes waste every day will add at least 1 kilogram of food to some 2.7 million people in a famine-inflicted region. Yet, every day in various parts of the world, 21,000 people die of hunger. That's all from me. Thank you, Doctor, for your time.
One of the ethical issues that occurred at Mardi is that there are some of the employees and staff did not have a good discipline where they do not obey the working rules. For example, there was a visitor complained that an employee at the Mardi park was playing phone while working. According to him, he had been standing at the counter for 5 minutes, but the employee did not notice the presence of him because he was busy playing with the phone. Next, some of their staff are not friendly to the customer and visitor. For example, there was a group of visitors wanted to buy the photo of them that staff took at the entrance. However, the guy that in charge for that was arrogant and did not want to entertain them. Because of that, they left without buying the photo. This should not have happened because employee and staff need to provide a good services to the customer. Customer play a big role in a business because they are the person that will hire the income of someone's business, and staff are responsible to treat them well. Next is in terms of facilities available there. Some of visitors complain that public toilet there were in a bad condition, where it is dirty and the flush cannot be used. Many visitors do not satisfied because the toilet was dirty. Dirty toilet had caused visitors feel uncomfortable to use the toilet. This happened because employee and staff do not do their job properly when they do not clean and repair the toilet even though they know that they need to do it. Hence, the management must ensure that the toilets are always in a good condition because it will cause a bad reputation if the toilets are in a bad condition. Besides, they also lack of facilities, which is benches and chairs that were provided at Mardi Pass are not too much. This happened because Mardi management and employee does not care and aware about the problem faced by visitors. As we know, Mardi Agro-Technology Park at Cameron Highlands are one of the preferred tourist destinations, so it will be visited by many tourists from various age groups, including young and old. The size of Mardi Agro-Technology Park is quite big, which around 42 hectares, so it is not weird if the visitor feel tired while strolling there, especially the elders. It is proof that this park did not provide many benches and chairs when one of the visitors suggested that the number of benches and chairs should be increased in order to provide comfort and ease the pregnant women and elderly. Furthermore, the management of parking area at Amsterdam always be one of the famous issue and always got complaint from the visitor, especially when there is an exhibition or event that being held there. This happened because the staff there did not prepare well on how to organize and arrange the parking area so that it will be enough to all the visitors. As we know, every year Amsterdam will organize Maha event that consists of thousands booths and provided many activities to the visitors. Due to that, they will receive thousands to millions visitors in a day, so it will be crowded, especially at the parking area. In addition, there is one of the visitors said those rela that were assigned to handle the parking area will fail to do their job well. Lastly, many visitors complained that the management of the plants at the Mardi Agro-Technology Park that located at Cameron Highlands did not taken care properly. As we know, this park is famous with their varieties of flowers and fruit, especially strawberry. Thus, visitors and tourists come here because they wanted to take a look at them and learn about various types of flowers. However, one of the visitors said that the strawberry farm had turned into a wheat farm. She also said that the beautiful strawberry farm had become an eyesore. Moreover, this is not the first time visitors made complaints about the management of the plants and environment there. This has proven that the plants there has not been well managed for a long time, even though at that time coronavirus did not exist yet. We can conclude that the plants become like that because employees did not do their job properly and do not think about the consequence of doing so. If this thing keeps happening, it will make visitors disappointed and feel it is not worth it to went there. That's all from me. Thank you.
Efforts taken by leadership in Mardi to deal with challenges that arise. There are so many efforts taken by leadership in Mardi to deal with challenges that arise. The first effort is managers or leaders must ensure that the entrance and exits of the farm are in different ways. It is to make sure that there is no congestion in that area. Everyone should avoid from being in this crowded situation. for their health and safety. Along the ways, workers need to provide cleaning and hand washing stations. Besides, Mardi has decided to sell their crops through online. Mardi Perak is among the Mardi branches that manage to sell their crops, which are durians and mangosteens, through online. They sold these fruits in packaging form. For those who are interested in buying these fruits, they can visit the website www.agrobazar.com.my or download the Agro-Bazar online application in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store to place an order one day before the delivery process is carried out. Next, selling their crops in Controlled Fresh Market or PST. Mardi sell their crops such as fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats in this market. This market is actually open for farmer, but Mardi also give cooperation to sell their crops yields. For those who want to buy physically, they can drive using their own vehicle to enter the business market, but they still need to follow the Standard Operating Procedure or SOP. Then, managers need to reduce the capacity of tourists and visitors at a time. It is to ensure that tourists can avoid congested conditions and places. By reducing the tourists and visitors, they can keep themselves within a meter to make sure they do not come into contact with each other. They should always keep an eye on every notice provided around the showground so as not to get the adverse effects of COVID-19 infection later on. Due to the number of tourists and visitors had to be reduced, they need to book tickets online first because the tickets are limited. Furthermore, the effort taken by leadership in Mardi is develop agro-tourism centers based on existing research facilities. Mardi Malacca wants to expand and develop the agro-tourism in an area of 68 hectares in Kuala Linggi, which aims to attract local and foreign tourists. Among the crops that want to be planted and sold in this area are fragrant lemongrass, regular lemongrass, muslime, and many more. They have also imported crops such as tea tree to be planted here. Mardi has already produced essence from the product of high-value fragrance lemongrass and regular lemongrass in the market. These essence can be processed into various new products that can be sold to increase the source of income in the industrial sector, as well as being an important ingredient in producing perfumes, massage oils, pesticides, soaps, and others. And the last but not least of effort is employees need to be enlightened on the importance of SOP for their own safety. Mardi management needs to focus 100% on the remaining workers in the industry to ensure that Mardi can redevelop as usual. Managers need to brief their staff to separate their clothes, bags, shoes, and many others from their family members after return home from work in order to reduce the risk of infection.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad TAUFIQ bin Muhammad ZAINUDDIN from class AM2281G. I will explain about Mardi's contribution and approach onto the corporate social responsibility and its impact toward the society. The first one is Mardi collaboration with SK Serdang. There have been plenty of Mardi's corporate social responsibilities activities and programs that was built and constructed to ensure the institution to give back to the society. The first one is Mardi and Sekolah Kebangsaan Serdang has been involved with a program to promote and to encourage these young students about agriculture. On October 22, Mardi held a few activities including a technology demonstration about soil compost, demonstration of how to plant vegetation in a city area, and also an exhibition of new technology produced by Mardi. More than 100 students were involved and participated in this program as a journey of a great adventure by the Mardi as a tribute and as a payback toward the society and for the future generation. The head director of Mardi, Dr. Sharif Harun, said that Mardi and its institution are committed to the idea of giving it back to the community by holding this kind of events and also to help to introduce this industry to the public. Dr. Sharif also added that they started this program to ensure that they can spread knowledge and technology about agriculture and cultivation. This transfer of information will be beneficial to the student, and Mardi also will adopting student who is poor and live in poverty as a big step to improve their lives. SK Serdang students were given a chance to use facilities and Mardi campuses and lab for their learning session and studies. He said that Mardi also provide them with beautiful landscapes to decorate the SK Serdang school because the school is a little bit small and constricted. Mardi also closing a collaboration deal of the MOU or Memorandum of Understanding Agreement with SK Serdang, in which the anticipation of this will be a kickstart to a new and better relationship between the two parties. For the first time ever, this program is to target the opportunity to teach and to educate these young students about agriculture and also to let these young kids to explore the fun side of agriculture industry. The next corporate social responsibility held by Mardi is Mardi's Green Shoots Kitchen Sign. Mardi also have successfully held a program on 5 September at Pasir Salak, which is called Green Shoots Kitchen Sign. This program focusing on kids between the age of 10 to 12 years old. There are two main activities that were held, which are plastic by ice cream, which teach the kid of how to make a homemade ice cream at home using only plastic bag and shaking technique. Next, butter in a jar, which teach the kids on how to make a homemade butter with only a few mixes of ingredients in a jar. All of these programs are free to join, and also every participant will get a free t-shirt, free goodie bags, and free 2-time meals included. That's all from me. Thank you. In the nutshell, agro-tourism or Mardi is also one of the industries that has suffered bad consequences from this COVID-19 pandemic. Many losses are suffered, but the employers do not easily give up to revive this sector in our country's industry, even if it is limited only to the country. Various initiatives are taken to overcome this problem in terms of management as well as organizational structure. Although many problems have to be faced, employers need to think that every challenge faced has a solution, only they need to be patient and think rationally and maturely. Most of the crops have withered and cannot be sold to the public, and even farm animals have died due to lack of adequate food supply, and the absence of tourists coming to this place caused their economy to collapse little by little and then cause huge losses. As a result, many employees had to be laid off because the company could not afford to pay their salaries as a result of the losses. Even so, the remaining workers need to work with the employers in order to restore Mardi's success in leading the agriculture, livestock and other sectors. From time immemorial, many corporate social responsibility programs have been undertaken for corporations in developing this agro-tourism sector. This program not only opened the minds of students and the public about the importance of this sector for the development of the country, but also provide opportunities for the unemployed to venture into this field. Many entrepreneurs have proven their success through this sector. Even during this COVID season, Mardi is still trying to do such a program, but they have to follow the standard operating procedure or SOP as a safety measure for everyone.